What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back again with another video continuing the Toronto Maple Leafs 2020-2021 player previews. Today we're looking at another defenseman, and it's Justin Holl. A very, different case when it comes to the Leafs, because I think that Justin Holl has a locked-in spot on this blue line while also not necessarily having a locked-in spot. His $2 million per season would show you that the Leafs have a little bit of an investment into him. But what I would say and what I would ask is for you guys to go on any stats website. Go on, Twitter's crazy, but if you look up his name, people will post charts. Justin Holl is very different, and not in a bad way, not in a good way. I guess you could call it a good way, but he's kind of in the middle of that, where it's like, what is this guy? What really does he provide you? Because I know that there's a lot of people that love Justin Holl, but what I would ask you to look at is that when he's away from Jake Muzzin, Justin Holl was not very good. And if you watch the games, Justin Holl was not very good away from Jake Muzzin. Now, when they're together, they were great. But what the Leafs need is that Justin Holl is going to end up on the third pairing, or he's going to get traded. Because that $2 million, if they can replace him with a better bottom pairing defenseman for cheaper, it could happen, and they can invest that money somewhere else. But if Justin Holl plays very good this season, then he'll obviously be worth that money and continue to play in the Leafs lineup. I don't think that he's a top four defenseman. I'd rather see him on that bottom pair. But if guys like Timothy Liljegren and Rasmus Sandin and even Lehtinen come in at a cheaper cap hit, give you better, all-around play, then Justin Holl is going to be on the outside looking in, and I believe that he will get traded. I honestly think that there is an opportunity for one of the young Leaf defensemen to bump Justin Holl out of the lineup this year, and then Holl would end up getting traded. He does have some value. I think that he would end up getting traded for like a mid-round pick, which would free the Leafs of $2 million plus getting a draft pick, plus being able to see what a younger defenseman can do. But I would rather Justin Holl just play very well and earn that spot on the blue line and continue to play for the Toronto Maple Leafs if it makes the team better. So before we get into more of a discussion, make sure to subscribe to this channel. I'm doing a preview for every single player and some of the players that are on the outside looking in as well. Definitely lots of videos on here to do with trade rumors, previews, jersey reviews, whatever it is, even card openings. Definitely a lot of different stuff on this channel for you to check out. So thank you for stopping by, and let's continue with this. So the reason why there's going to be more of a discussion in this video than some of the other previews is because I'm not sure necessarily if the Leafs are set on Justin Holl even being in the lineup. And it does sound kind of crazy, but there are a lot of players that are going to be, fighting for a spot, which is good. Internal competition is good. But like the Leafs paid Zach Bogosian $1 million, more than likely to be a bottom pairing rotational type of defenseman. But if they like what they see from him, maybe they give him smaller minutes and continue to play him on that third pairing pretty much every game. You have Travis Dermott, who, like I said in the last player preview, I'm pretty sure that one will get uploaded next, or it would have been uploaded already. But Dermott should be in that top four on that bottom pairing no matter what, because he has a higher ceiling. He should be outplaying Justin Holl. You have Rasmus Sandin that the team's really high on. They're gonna see if he can battle for a spot. He's been gaining some muscle mass and training really hard. So you have that. You have Lehtinen that they signed out of the KHL. They expect his ceiling to be higher than Justin Holl's. KHL leading point, defenseman, KHL defenseman of the year. They've got guys there that are going to be battling, and you've already got Brody, Muzzin, and Riley as locks. So Justin Holl isn't necessarily a lock on this team. And like I said, Timothy Liljegren, right-handed shot guy that they've been developing as a two-way defenseman instead of him just being an offensive-minded guy. And maybe they like him at a cheaper cap hit. Maybe he comes into camp and, just shocks a lot of people and plays really well. So Holl could get traded. I really do still think it's a possibility. It might even be a mid-season trade. But like I said, if Justin Holl comes out, maybe he still plays with Jake Muzzin, or he plays on that bottom pairing and gives you really, really good minutes, then how could you trade the guy? So we'll look into this. He's 28 years old, so I think that he's more than likely, what you see is what you get type of thing. I'm not really sure how much more he's going to improve. 6'4", 210 pounds. He's a really, really big dude, but he can move as well. I don't think he's very slow. I also believe that he's a really good puck mover. I guess I should say good, not really good, but I think he's a good puck mover. 3 years in the NHL here, in the first 2 games in 17-18, he had 2 goals. That was pretty funny. Then the 18-19 season, 11 games played, 1 assist. But then this year, when he got a shot to be in the lineup every single night, 18 points in 68 games played, not bad. Plus 13, like I said, that's more of a team stat. But this is where the Justin Holl conversation starts and basically ends, because that cap hit of $2 million is what we just talked about, is what the Leafs have to really look at. Because when he was at the cheaper cap hit, $700,000, $650,000, whatever like this, none of this would really matter. $675,000, like these are cheap numbers. You can slot him in on the bottom pair, whatever. But now that he's at $2 million and he's got a modified no trade clause, you have to look at this number and think, okay, can we replace him with something internally, or can we, trade him for another, maybe a bottom, like a fourth line forward that we can use as a depth piece? Could they use that money and acquire cap space, and that could be the biggest acquisition, or is it worth it to keep him at that $2 million cap hit? And in this video, it's going to sound like I don't like Justin Holl. I really, really like Justin Holl. And like I said, that's why I want him to prove that he is worth that money and continue to play on this team. Because if he makes the team better and I'm a Leaf fan, why would I hate this guy? You know what I mean? That's why I don't understand when some people hate on certain players on their favorite team, unless there's a reason off the ice to do that. Like if you hate him for something that he's done that's really wrong. But I mean, I haven't seen any of that. I think that Justin Holl makes this team better if he plays to his true ability. So if he can do that, if he can play really well, and not just with Jake Muzzin, if he can play really well in that bottom pairing, then of course I would want him on the team. But money could be a circumstance here where they have somebody that's very similar to him, somebody that can play the exact same or maybe even a little bit better for cheaper. Then it's not going to make sense for the Leafs to hold on to him. And, you like I said, you might be somebody that really likes Justin Holl. You might be somebody that believes that he should be in the lineup every single night. And that's fine. That's great, because I hope that he really does play like that. But the money situation for the Toronto Maple Leafs could play a factor in certain guys getting moved around. And I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing, because I keep trying to stress, I believe in Timothy Liljegren, and I think that he would be a very good fit on this team, whether it's this year or next year. Justin Holl's spot is the one that would get bumped out, because TJ Brodie's going to play the right side on that top pairing, so you're not getting rid of him. Then you also have guys like Dermott who can play the right side, and who you taking, Dermott or Holl, this season is going to be the telltale sign of that. And then you're not going to trade a prospect like Timothy Liljegren unless you're getting back a top 4 defenseman in a package. I'm not saying Liljegren's worth just himself as to get a top 4 guy, but him being a centerpiece with a high pick for a top 4 defenseman, like you're not trading him. You're not trading Rasmus Sandin. You're not trading Lettinen, who can also play on the right side. They have a lot of decisions to make, and Justin Holl is in the center of it. So let me know what you guys think. Again, no hate towards him. I hope that he does really well this year, and I hope that he is a Toronto Maple Leaf and making this team better. If you are new to this channel, make sure to subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Join the squad. Lots of videos coming, lots of previews coming. So thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video or stream. Peace.